In Savitri, A Legend and a Symbol, Book 1, Canto 4, The Secret Knowledge, Sri Aurobindo describes a spiritual experience. Quote, "It is the origin and the master clue, a silence overhead, an inner voice, a living image seated in the heart, an unwalled wideness, and a fathomless point, the truth of all these cryptic shows in space, the real towards which our strivings move, the secret grandiose meanings of our lives, a treasure of honey in the combs of God, a splendor burning in a tenebrous cloak. It is our glory of the flame of God, our golden fountain of the world's delight, and immortality cowled in the cape of death, the shape of our unborn divinity." End quote. This is not a description of a thought or an emotion. Rather, it sets forth an experiential reality of spiritual development. In his lectures on Raja Yoga, Swami Vivekananda provides a detailed overview of the working of the mind and how to bring it to a state of calm quiescence as a preparation for spiritual experience. He describes the mind stuff, chitta, which can be observed. Normally, it is always disturbed with ripples and waves. This is the action of the surface mind, which is always latching on to one perception, thought, idea, or object, or another, and jumping from one to another as the next one appears. He describes how to observe this activity, how to disassociate oneself from this surface action, and how to bring a status of total quiet to the mind such that it is still and free of this frenetic activity. This is a preliminary stage for later steps of concentration, direction, and management of thought, and the deep state of samadhi. Sri Aurobindo describes two main forms of concentration to aid in the spiritual development. The first is the concentration in the heart center, to bring forward the action of the psychic being in the external nature. Sri Aurobindo notes, quote, "That other way is the concentration in the head, in the mental center. This, if it brings about the silence of the surface mind, opens up an inner, larger, deeper mind within, which is more capable of receiving spiritual experience and spiritual knowledge. But once concentrated here, one must open the silent mental consciousness upward to all that is above mind. After a time, one feels the consciousness rising upward, and in the end, it rises beyond the lid which has so long kept it tied in the body, and finds a center above the head where it is liberated into the infinite. There it begins to come into contact with the universal self, the divine peace, light, power, knowledge, bliss, to enter into that and become that, to feel the descent of these things into the nature, to concentrate in the head with the aspiration for quietude in the mind and the realization of the self and divine above, is the second way of concentration. It is important, however, to remember that the concentration of the consciousness in the head is only a preparation for its rising to the center above. Otherwise, one may get shut up in one's own mind and its experiences, or at best attain only to a reflection of the truth above, instead of rising into the spiritual transcendence to live there. For some, mental concentration is easier. For some, the concentration in the heart center. Some are capable of doing both alternately. But to begin with the heart center, if one can do it, is the most desirable." End quote. Reference, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, the Psychic Being, Soul, Its Nature, Mission, and Evolution, Section 4, The Psychic Being and Sadhana, pages 116 to 117.